Hi, I'm Bobby Lopez.
And I'm Darren DeMailey.
And we're the PGA pros at Tupelo Bay. This is an exciting program, and this is why I said to Darren, let's tape this to really explain it to somebody, because you write it out and it doesn't have the same effect.
What program are we talking about?
We're talking about, I grew up in the Jack Nicklaus era, more or less. I guess he's 10 years older than I am. But I remember going to Doral as a kid and watching him, and getting to meet him in 1973 when he came out for the World Cup, where I was director of golf at Nueva Lucia in Spain, and met Barbara and his family and everything. You worked for him for 7 years.
Yes, for 7 years.
You really knew him and knew him well.
Intimately. Christmas parties at his house, birthday parties, concerts. I spent a lot of time. When Jack was in town, he was at the club every day. So I got to spend a lot of time around him and his family, and meet a lot of neat people, a lot of his friends along the way. So
this was at the Bears Club, which is...
This is at the Bears Club. It's in Jupiter, Florida. And it opened in 2000 or 1999, and I came in that first year for 7 years and kind of, built the club up to what it is today. Not by myself, but with, other staff members that were part of the original team.
So when you were teaching, you still coordinated with Jack Nicklaus as far as the quality of the teaching and what was being taught?
Yeah, so, I did lots of things at the Bears Club, teaching golf, playing with a bunch of Jack's, guests, and being around Jim Flick when he would come in, and all the other tour pros that were there. So, yeah, from a teaching aspect, there was no better learning ground than that place.
Well, I knew before we'd ever met, I'm sure everybody, well, it's not everybody, but a lot of people have heard about how Jack used to, every year, go back to Jack Grout, who was his teacher at Lagorce, over there in Miami Beach.
Was he at Lagorce? I know Scioto, but he might have, maybe in...
He was at Lagorce.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why you see some of these old videos of Jack when he was a kid, and you see palm trees in the background.
Yeah.
Right, so he was at Lagorce, and he would go back every January and say, teach me as if I never played before, something like that.
Yep, it's true story, and he did that well into his late years, and every January we'd see Jim Flick fly in, and he'd do a couple of golf schools, and he'd spend some time with Jack, and taught him as if he'd never played the game before, because during the course of a year, bad habits will creep in there. So once January 1st rolls around, the start of a new year, it was a good chance to kind of refresh and get yourself back to the basics, which was a huge belief that Jack had.
Well, you being as close as you were to him, I used to steal some stuff from him all the time. I mean, when you're on tour, you're playing on tour, you steal stuff from other players all the time. Don't anybody kid you. Especially if they're friendly with you. If you're lucky, you get to be friendly with some of the guys that are really successful, and when you go out to dinner or whatever, and they talk about some of the different things they do. Well, he was close enough to Nicklaus to know exactly what they did in this rebuild process, which I find interesting for myself to do, quite frankly, as anybody else. I mean, yeah. I don't care how good a player you are. Like you say, little. Sometimes it's the smallest little things that's creeping in. It's, at the pro level, it's a shot or two over 4 days is all it takes. In the difference in your paycheck. For the average golfer, it's now finally having the right fundamentals and building it a piece at a time to where it's doable.
Yeah, and you can't see what you're doing, and that's what Flick was. He was Jack's eyes. So you can't see what you're doing, so you have to have a second set of eyes to kind of remind you and show you and help you. And we use a lot of video work with what we're going to be doing. So it's just a chance to get back to the basics and get back to those fundamentals.
Why don't you do me a favor and grab that whiteboard real quick. And let's hold this up, and why don't you hold it like this, and you go ahead and name some of the things you're going to be doing in this program.
So we're going to take it right out of a page out of Jack's book and start with everything from the beliefs that he has in the golf swing to some of the full swing fundamentals, like number one, keeping your head still, right? And how Jack used to do shadow drills and how Grout used to hold his head. Foot action, the takeaway, the tension in the backswing, the downswing, the follow through, Jack's belief in power, all these things that he believed and went through at the beginning of the year, we're going to take you through step by step. And to be honest with you, there's not many people out there that had a better chance to see it up close like I did. So I keep saying I was very fortunate and lucky, but I put myself in the right position to be able to be there. So we're going to get to flight control, why Jack hit the fade and the draw, and high shots and low shots, and all these different things that he would go through getting ready for the season.
And all this is going to cost, first, well, it is going to cost a fortune. Now, are you sitting down? $179. That's it.
We can't do better than that.
And that's a 90-day program, which includes 2 one-on-one private lessons.
Yep.
One of our essential
our skill development, enhanced skill developments,
where they get to choose from any one of a bunch of different topics, and based on what you see them doing during this rebuild, you can say the one you really need is chipping, or the one you really need is a driver, or the one you really need is this, or whatever. And you have 90 days of unlimited monitored practice, where while you're going through this program, Darren's going to make sure you're staying on track. So you're coming out and practice in front of us so that we can make sure that you're not falling off the wagon somewhere.
Yep.
To decide, because that's the difficult part. You think you're doing okay, and next thing you know, you're reverting right back to what you were doing before.
Yeah, you need a
and
set
you don't
eyes.
even realize.
Yep, you need a second
so
set
you
eyes.
got 90 days of those. We have them 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11:15. You can come as much or as little as you want. So all that for $179, and we do have a bigger program, which is 180 days. And that has 5 of the private lessons. It has 3 of the essential skills development program.
Yep.
And you have 180 days of the follow-up lessons. And that's $349. So they're killer deals. All you got to do is go to quickfixgolf.com and look where it says local lessons. Click on that, and the box will open up. And you look down and you'll see the Jack Nicklaus 90, the Jack Nicklaus 180. There they are right there. You go ahead and sign up right online, and let's get you started at the beginning of the year. Anything else we're missing?
Yeah, you can't. It's a unique opportunity. You're not going to find this anywhere else in the world. You're not. To have somebody like myself who was there, on stage, and some of the stories.
The best part.
What's that?
We're going to be able to do this online as well. So some of you that are watching this video and you're in Topeka, Kansas, or wherever, because we're in Myrtle Beach, we can do this whole program online with you. All you need to do is have a cell phone or any kind of camera where you can video your swing and send it to us, and we'll do the whole program right online. Follow step by step. We have gotomeeting.com where you can come on with us and ask questions live and everything else to go with it. So you don't have to be here.
Nope, you can be in Topeka if that's
you
where
can be
you
in
choose.
Topeka. All right? QuickFixGolf.com.